In this video, I will build one of the iconic Imperial walkers. Then, I will add some banner damage and add destroyed parts with a homemade scratch build, play with the interior and exterior painting, and weather it heavily. So please sit tight and enjoy. Let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm a big fan of science fiction movies, and one of my favorite is the Star Wars franchise. So I decided to build an Imperial AT-ST Walker from Bandai. This model is in a 1/48 scale, so it's neither a small or a big model. The moldings are excellent. They are highly detailed without bursts or scratches. The kit also includes a stand for a diorama, 2 Imperial figures, and a Wookiee figure. Great! Finally I can unleash my imagination a little bit. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for not missing any new notifications. Okay, let's start with the build. I will build this model like I build armor vehicles. First, I will build the whole model. If it has an interior, I will paint it, and then, when the whole assembly is complete, I will paint and weather the model's exterior. I began to build the AT-ST with the engine and the gearbox part. At least it looks like it. The assembly is fantastic. All parts fit together perfectly. It has a simple clicking system, so the assembly is very fast. It's like an advanced Lego kit. Now for the legs. The assembly was also very fast. I spent more time with cleaning parts from the excessive plastic sprue than the actual build. The fit is very tight, but to hold it together I added a little bit of glue to it. I liked how the manufacturer added these joints. It's very articulated and comes with the option to pose the model in any position. Let's get back to the engine and gearbox part. I want my model to have some serious battle damage. I decided to destroy the rear engine part and imitate a blast from a high-caliber plasma cannon. So I need to drill a hole through the engine part with my Xtal micro drill. Then I will cut some plastic with a cotton disc and grind a big gap in it. The entering wound is positioned from a lower angle and comes out by ripping out some metal. It's a sci-fi model, and I can only guess, but it looks like the engine part was poorly armored. Now I clean the destroyed engine part with a sharp knife and a flat paintbrush. Next, I bend the plastic with pliers and tweezers. But that's not enough. I add some scratch build by using electrical and LED wires, aluminum and brass plates. Now that's more like it. It looks much better now. Let's make some modifications on the cockpit. On the pilot seats are joints for the figures, but I will not use them. I need to remove them, therefore I use a chisel and sandpaper. For a better look, I created seat belts from masking tape. The cockpit is ready for painting. I used a darker grey color. It's the Gunze Sangyo Mysticolor C305. I light up the cockpit color by adding a post shading by mixing dark grey and white. And when it's done, I paint all the small details and add a dark wash. When cleaning the excessive wash, it got me thinking. I thought about what to do next. Yes, the engine part is heavily damaged, and the cockpit details are nice, but how about to build a destroyed, burned out, rusted and abandoned machine? For this purpose, I decided to test the AK weathering pencils. I wanted to create a really rusty interior. I applied a little bit of water to the surface with a brush and gradually applied shades of yellow, strong ochre, light rust and medium rust. After applying, I blend all colors together. My goal is to create an uneven surface. Rust itself is not the same everywhere. Some places are darker and some of them are paler. Therefore, I add a little bit of darker and lighter shades. To unify the shades and blending, I used ordinary water. The blending itself was time consuming, but I must admit, I enjoyed it. At the end, I created some corrosion streaks. I almost forgot to use chipping. I create the chipping effect with a dark brown sepia pencil. Looks pretty good for a first time. I'm satisfied. Finally, I can assemble the cockpit, add armor platings, door hatches, more small details and weapons. Okay, the model is assembled. For a more battle damage look, I added some ricochets from enemy fire. Before painting, I cover all door hatches with a sponge. As a primer, I use Mr. Surface 1000. For the heavy rust effect, I will use acrylic water-based colors from Mick Jimenez. The set includes 6 colors. I'm very curious how they work. I began to paint with the darkest color. In this case, it's the old rust paint. The paint is applied in smooth layers. After that, I lighten up lots of more areas with lighter shades of dark, medium and light rust. Some more extra details like stains had to be painted by hand and a toothpick. I also made some tests with the chipping fluid. The manufacturer leads me to apply the chipping fluid directly on the model without any varnish. I don't want to make any mistakes and accidentally remove the rust paint if I apply my water. From the left is the surface covered with a matte varnish, then a gloss varnish and no varnish. I like the matte varnish procedure most. The chipping fluid needs to be applied on the matte surface anyway. I'm using this product for the first time, so I'm very excited. The paint job is easy and includes only one color shade. The paint is thinned down in a 1:5 ratio up to leveling thinner. I also made a post shading with adding a drop of white color. Now I create the burn off effect with a white and black color, but if I mess it up, I will create this effect with pigments later. And now for the magic moment. Let's create a heavy chipping effect. I only need water, a paintbrush and lots of patience. The mystic color paint is a little bit harder to remove, but it doesn't matter to me. At least I have lots of more control about it. For smaller bits and scratches I can use a toothpick. For hard to remove areas and also speeding up the process, I use a toothbrush. My goal is to create at least a couple of years abandoned ATST. Okay, for the first time, the result looks quite good. But let's create more darker chipping with a sponge. Of course, I can't forget to paint the small details. To unify the surface, I added a dark brown filter. Practically, it's an oil wash. I will use enamel thinner later, so for not removing the filter, I applied a glossy varnish coat. Next, I highlight all panels with a panel line wash from Tamiya. And remove the excessive wash with a cotton swab. For more weathering, I will use oil paints and pigments. I will add more rust effects by mixing yellow, red, ochre, brown and burnt umber oil paints, and then I will blend them with the enamel thinner. In this process, I can completely unleash myself and add and remove effects as I like. When it dries out, it creates a very nice surface. Very nice details are corrosion streaks. And as I said before, I repaired the burnt off engine part with a black and dust pigment from AK. For the final touch, I also added rust pigments. I think that's enough for now. I'm satisfied with the result. This model was very fun to build. I finally managed to build something different. Honestly, I would like to build much more than aircraft. So stay in touch, because I will build a diorama to it. I hope you liked this video build. Please subscribe to my channel, like or leave a comment down below. If you are interested to see more of my work, join me on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you for watching and see you next time.